Welcome back into the news portion of the show. Tonight, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration granted emergency use authorization to Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. In a tweet, the FDA says it's allowing people 18 and older to receive it. The authorization follows a recommendation Thursday from the FDA's Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee. It's now the second vaccine authorized for use in the United States to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Now, when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine, some are worried that if they take it, they could get the virus. But health experts want you to know that's simply not the case. We're told even though this is a novel vaccine, the methods used to develop it aren't new. Think of the vaccine as a genetic code that allows your cells to make a protein. Once your cells have it, your body can then create memory cells, which will give you immunity if you're exposed to the virus.
This is not a live vaccine, so it's impossible for you to get coronavirus from this vaccine. People might mistake it for coronavirus because of the side effects itself, which the side effects from the vaccine are way, way, way better than the side effects from coronavirus.
Side effects of the vaccine include things like injection site reactions, fevers, headaches, and fatigue. And while the first doses of COVID-19 vaccines are arriving at hospital systems across Delmarva, private practices say they're also trying to get their hands on doses for staff and eventually patients. Owner of Millsboro's Pearl Clinic, Dr. Shireen Howitt, says she and her staff filled out applications to get those doses Friday morning. But Dr. Howitt says they're already thinking about their long-term plan. That includes making sure they have freezers and temperature monitors to store the vaccine and that they have the materials they need if a patient has an allergic reaction.
I think that we may need to increase how much of those things we have available, including oxygen and epinephrine in case someone has an allergic reaction.
Dr. Howitt says in the coming days she'll be waiting to hear back from the state of Delaware on whether Pearl Clinic will be getting the vaccine. She says she and her staff are planning ahead on which of their patients will be the first to get it. Dr. Howitt says if they get the vaccine, staff will be vaccinated first, then their most at-risk patients. Well, getting tested for COVID-19 is something that public officials continue to encourage us to do. But what you should know is that there are different types of tests, and not all of them may be the one you need. With more, here's 47 ABC's Julian Sador.
As we move through the holidays, many people may want to take a rapid test before they decide to travel. But before you take one of those rapid tests, medical professionals want you to know a few things about them. And that starts with knowing the difference between a molecular test and an antigen test. The reality of COVID-19 testing is that not all tests are created equal. When it comes to the two main types, there's PCR or molecular testing, and then the antigen testing, which many call rapid testing. But there's a big difference between the two. So let's start with molecular testing.
There are very sensitive tests that we do in the clinical microbiology lab. We can detect just a few strands of the virus.
Simply put, that's the gold standard. But what about antigen testing, which can get your results in as little as 15 minutes?
They're not quite as sensitive as the tests that we do in our clinical microbiology lab because you're not amplifying or making multiple copies of that material.
So what does that mean? Well, in simple terms, both tests are pretty good if you're displaying symptoms of COVID-19. But when it comes to detecting if you're asymptomatic or negative, that's where the antigen test might have a little trouble.
Those rapid machines, they need you to have a, if you would, an immune response for it to work.
That's because if you're asymptomatic, you may just have low levels of the virus, or the virus hasn't started replicating to high amounts, which makes it harder to pick up on these antigen-based tests. And according to health professionals,
neither of those machines marketed for asymptomatic people.
So to recap, know what type of test you're taking, because if you have symptoms and you take an antigen test that comes back negative, you're going to want to take a molecular test to verify those results. Also, if you think that you may be asymptomatic, that molecular test is going to be your best bet to make sure that you're safe. In Salisbury, Julian Sador, 47 ABC.
If you're unsure of what test you're taking, you're encouraged to ask your provider to clarify. We're also told that if you think you have symptoms, it's good to get whatever test you can take. And with that, I think we can all agree that it is freezing outside tonight. So here to tell us more about what we can expect in terms of weather in the coming days is Chief Meteorologist Daniel Johnson. Hey, Daniel.
All right, it is a cold one outside, upper 20s to low 30s at the moment. Let's take a live look outside at our Morse Roofing and Siding Skycam in Rehoboth Beach, where it is a quiet night. The breeze starting to calm down, but there's still a bit of a breeze, and that is enough to create a wind chill, and I'll show you those numbers coming up in a few seconds. Speaking of numbers, here's a look at current temperatures. 29 in Salisbury, 30 in Georgetown, Ocean City in the upper 20s, Cambridge and Easton right at 30. And when you factor in that wind, check out the temperature in Dover, or I should say the wind chill temperature, 19 degrees. That's what it feels like. It feels like 24 in Salisbury, 23 in Ocean City. So that breeze is enough to make you shiver for sure if you're not bundled up appropriately. Now, we did have some clouds out there early today, but now they're diminishing. There could be a few clouds tonight, but look to the west. Look at all those clouds. Let's see if I can draw here on the map like John Madden. I mean, it is DSI, right? Look at this. All those clouds streaming in from the Baja, through Mexico, through Texas. That's the southern jet stream. All those clouds aiming at us. We don't typically see a southern jet stream this strong in La Nina winters, and that's what we have right now. That's why we're so wet and so many storms going on, and it looks like that pattern will continue. Low to mid-20s tonight, partly cloudy and cold. So we are dry tonight. We're dry tomorrow. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow, upper 30s and low 40s, so be sure to bundle up. That planner, it's starting very cold in the mid-20s and then climbing up to possibly the low 40s as we head through the afternoon with a few clouds here and there. A quick look at Futurecast does show a few clouds on Saturday, and then by Sunday, look at that, a chance for some showers as we head through Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, and maybe another chance for a shower as we head through Monday night on the first day of winter. And look at Christmas. Christmas Eve near 60, but rain may be changing to snow on Christmas Day. Keep it here. You're watching DSI. We'll be right back.
This is Philip Townsend, head coach at Indian River High School. You are watching Delmarva Sports Insider.